Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 6:21 Eastern Standard Time, November 29th. And this caught my eye, my ear. I don't know her name, but they were talking, it was Luke and Jeff and a few other people, and they were talking about death. Not in a morbid way, but just dealing with death. And I don't know the I don't know her name, sitting in the bottom middle, but she had a dream that sounded like maybe, well, she had a God dream. I'll just put it that way. And I thought it was outstanding, and it's on Paul's mega live stream. So here it is.
I don't know. I can't fathom it. Like, I don't know what I would think of myself in a situation like that. Anyhow, I recommend it. It's beautiful.
Can I add a quick story about that goes along with art? I'm going to anyway. Just talking about the trust issue. I've experienced a series of really traumatic dreams. I've told Luke this, that my children are being literally torn apart in front of my eyes. I mean, like ripped apart, bloody, me holding them, just the most horrific circumstances you can possibly think of. And part of me in experiencing those dreams is like, wow, God, are you preparing me for something that's actually going to happen? You know, you go through all of these thoughts and feelings, and at one point, it was actually kind of when I discovered the whole Jordan Peterson stuff and Peugeot and started looking into orthodoxy, and I really was curious about iconography and started looking at a lot of I bought a couple of books of icons and had been looking through them, and I watched, actually, Luke, you and Mary were talking about that video. It's called Sacred Art in Secular Terms, where he talks about the icon of the Dormition, and that icon for me just stood out so much. And it's a picture of Mary's death, and Christ is standing over her as she's lying in front of him, but he's holding this baby wrapped in swaddling clothes, which is actually the soul of Mary. So he's standing over her, looking very, very sad that she's gone, and yet holding her soul, like right next to his chest. And I'm not gonna be able to make it through. But so that I just kept meditating on that picture and staring at it, and there's this child, this child that Christ is holding. And the next, a couple weeks later, I had another one of these dreams where my daughter was being ripped apart by a sea monster, and I'm watching that. It was almost like it slowed down into slow motion, and all of a sudden her face in that photo, in the dream, became Mary as this baby being held by Christ. And so now I can go back to that picture when I'm having those fears and just look at this this piece of art, and that has given me more peace than any words anyone has said. Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. And not even starting your dreams, those just started to happen.
There's more to this coming up, and the reason I'm playing this is that the dreams have affected me positively, actually, and gotten me through some very hard times. And this one struck me as a God dream. So let me continue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She'll start talking more later on.
I haven't had one since that one, though. So.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad
Yeah.
to hear that.
Yeah.
Not with any intent to make light of that. This is just a thought that came to my mind. The last one where you talked about, did you say it was like a sea serpent or something?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean that just sounds to me, and again, I'm far from an expert on it. It's only what I've heard, but that sounds like a very archetypal type
for
dream.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, with the mother protecting the children from, or trying to protect children from,
From
you know,
chaos.
the snakes. Yeah,
Yeah.
from the snake of chaos, and
Mhm.
it just reminded me of a lot of you know, what Peterson said in his biblical lectures.
Mhm. Well, and I literally have, I was having a lot of those dreams before we took our 2 kids to Africa for
This
6
is
weeks
it.
when they were 3 and 4. And that was
Mm.
when I was really wrestling with it. I mean, it's like literal snakes that I'm afraid of. And I had come to a place of peace. It's like, okay, we can go, whatever. If something happens to them, I was at a place, it's like, okay, God, they're yours, you know? And it ended up, when we were there, my daughter almost stepped on a spitting cobra. I mean, she came 2 centimeters from stepping on a highly venomous snake. And it was like, it was the weirdest experience, because I wasn't like, oh, thank you, God, for protecting her, which might have been the response. It was more like, if she had died, I would be okay. You know?
Mm.
Like I would have a peace.
Really?
I mean, I wouldn't be okay, but it was like I knew, because I had wrestled with it so much, that I would be able to, I don't know, still trust.
Like you had prepared for it, or?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a strange feeling.
I don't.
So that was it. I think God prepares us. No, God, I know, prepares us in dreams. He warns us. What was it? The Magi, when after they met Jesus, was warned in dreams. Joseph was warned in dreams. Solomon was given wisdom in a dream. Hey, Lily. So Solomon was given wisdom in dreams. Jacob saw the comings and goings of heaven in dreams. And I don't know her name, the girl on the middle bottom, but I don't want to say it was a warning, because nothing bad happened, but definitely a preparation. For myself, I've had experiences with dreams, and they've been good. They've been transformative. And I think the best ones are when, I think like Solomon, when you have a dream and you go to bed one way and you wake up different, better. I've had that once, and it was pretty profound. It was a good time. If anyone wants to jump on, posted the link. You're more than welcome. Let me see what else I can find here that I've enjoyed from Paul Vanderclay's. Oh, look at that. You told me to be quiet. Oh, look at this. How do we delete comment? Ban user. And you're gone. Goodbye. So, must be doing something good. So anyhow, been transformed. Sharky's been banned. All right. Anyhow, let me see what other dreams. What can I find here? Let me shrink the screen. I'm also learning StreamYard. So, did I get that out? And I'm back. So it is prophetic dreams that I'm kind of talking about. I'm looking for maybe Mark D. Parker to show up. Dreams of Mary. What's interesting is behind the scenes, I'm like kind of Catholic adjacent and cool with Mary, kind of figuring things out with that. She's been showing up to Muslims, and she had been talking. Mary has been leading Muslim people to Jesus. So that's interesting. I'm kind of going down that rabbit trail, trying to find out. Let me see what dreams of Virgin Mary. I know there's a Jewish fellow, Paul from not Goodfellas. What is it? The Sopranos. He has a dream of the Virgin Mary. Oh, I gotta play this. Well, maybe not. I don't know if I should. Don't want to get a copyright. So, dreams are transformative. You can have them. The way you tell if it's a good dream or a God dream or not is, does it give you hope? Does it give you faith? Does it give you peace, love, joy, kindness, meekness, temperance, long suffering? Come on, people. I need, what is it? All right, Islam and dreams of Virgin Mary. Kind of. So, anyhow, that's just me goofing around for a little bit. Get a wife. Oh, well, you know what? Get a life, get a wife. You know what? What is your name? That can't pronounce it. Yeah, why not? Hey, listen. I'd still, it's not too insulting. Pray for me. Pray for you. What's not a bad thing. All right, folks, if nobody's going to jump on, I think I'm going to just learn more about StreamYard as I go. Any prayer requests before I go, because I do pray for folks. Sometimes when I pray, good things happen. Right now, I'm just snowed in. It's Indiana. Pitiful. Here, I'll show you. I'm sure there's snow all over the place. Muncie weather, Muncie, Indiana. Getting snowed in. Yeah, here we go. Let me pull this up. Get a wife. Actually, I think God might have one for me, but we'll wait on him. We'll see. Share screen. Boom. 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 Stop that. So here's the weather. And that's why I'm not going to a worship gig tonight, because I live in there it is. There it is. Right there. Muncie, Indiana. Big bunch of snow. Getting hammered. That's why. Hey, listen. There's somebody, artist formerly known as, can you show me your face before I let you in, please? Because you're waiting in the background. And I will let you in, but you have to show me your face first. Because otherwise you can get some questionable antics. So as you're listening to me, because I can see you in the background, artist formerly known as something. That's the only rule I got. After that. So, yeah. Artist, show me your face. I don't know if you can hear me. Hope you can. So that's why we're not at the worship gig, and that's why we are hanging out here. I'm just some guy. Hello. Oh, okay. All right. You can go cut. You can cut. There you go. Thank you. Let me see.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Hello, artist formerly known as Cici.
Yes. How are
Oh
you?
my gosh. Hi. I didn't see. I'm doing good. I'm snowed in. It's pitiful. It's sad, and I'm stranded. But not a big deal.
The
So
weather
how
looked
about
like it was
you?
coming through like the Midwest and everything, so I guess you're just in the line of fire.
Yeah, let me pull it back up if I can. It's what part are you? How's the weather in your part of the world?
It's good now, but I just beat it because I went down to my brother's house to visit.
Mm-hmm.
And I got back before the weather got me, so I'm happy about that.
Right. Is it rain or is it snow in your part of the world?
It's trying to spit snow. It's thinking about it.
Yeah. Right. So, what's news? What's good? How's it been? It's been a little while since we talked.
It has been a
So,
while. No
yeah.
good news, unfortunately. Very sad for me, but it is what it is.
What? Well, do you mind me asking?
Oh, I had my big test that I did not pass.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a second. I think I owe you a Mexican. I
I think
I
you
owe
do.
you. I owe you. See, I'm here to bring sunshine into your
The
life.
silver lining.
Yeah, exactly. I mean it. I will pay up. Like you name the time and place, and I will pay up because I do believe. I don't want to say double or nothing, but I'm willing to go. Yeah, why not double or nothing? I think you'll. I can still win. I believe in you. I'm willing to do. You know what? I need to put my money where my mouth's at. Double or nothing. Are you in?
You don't have to do any bets. I will pass the second time.
Well, I'm just saying that's the kind of guy I do believe in you. How was the test? Do they let you know how you
I
did, or
missed
is
it.
it just yes
I missed
no?
it by a degree where I could have gotten it, but I didn't study enough. And so that's on me. But
Oh,
it wasn't too bad.
okay, all right. Because I mean, I know people who have brains, and you have brains. Um,
Thank you for saying so.
Seriously, no, really, I mean it. Um, so I'm like, dude, suck it, dude. I could have had me a Mexican meal. You need to get on your game, girl.
I'll try.
Okay, don't let me have this talk again.
No, I don't need a pep talk. I'll get it.
No. uh, so, who? When might you take the test again?
It'll be just after the new year.
Oh, really?
hmm
Um,
So I got a little
okay.
time to study up and everything. So just working and making it happen.
Yeah. Is it pretty standard to to take the test twice, like not out of the statistical norm?
Yes, it's pretty common.
Okay.
About a little more than
Okay.
half of people have to.
Okay. All right. Um, okay, because I don't want to. I
Nah,
had a
it's just one of
friend.
those things. It could have been me, it could have not been me, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm just bummed. I mean, as long as you're okay and you're not bummed or anything like that. I
well,
mean, you. Let me rephrase that. As long as you're not crushed,
only
because
mildly, but not too
okay,
bad.
all right, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Well,
so you have yours like streaming to the phone view and to the regular as right.
yes, and it's so weird, and I
Okay.
have no control over it. Hey, Mark S.,
Interesting,
if
because
you
I
want to
saw
plug,
Mark's. Yeah, I saw Mark's comment, but then I also saw the other comments in the other one. But they're being nasty to you, Ron. Okay, they're bullying you here.
wait, where's the other ones at?
So it's like on the phone view.
Because I know, yeah. How do I see the comments on the phone view? Because if
Well,
I'm
Mark is
getting
on the
beat up there, I
phone,
need
so
to.
you see both streams, but it's split for us looking at the streams. So I have to go to the other
Really?
one to see Mark, and then Mark S, and then Mark D.
Uh,
Parker is on the phone one.
yeah. Um, that is so weird. I don't know if I like this function or not. It's if you're on the phone mode, you get more views. However, it seems to split the comments into two different groups.
It does.
And that I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't like the splitting. I like it. I'd rather have fewer views and better community than bigger numbers and uh, more views and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Uh,
I don't know. It probably seems like I think most of the regular people that like are in the TLC, they're usually on like the desktop app, but then like
mhm,
newer viewers are on the phone app, like the phone view. I think,
mhm. Okay.
but
See
I'm
now.
not very StreamYard savvy. I do OBS like like
So wait, do you use
on my end.
OBS? Do you use an OBS exclusively without using StreamYard?
Yeah. So I stream from OBS to the YouTube studio.
And can you see chats or can you communicate with anybody as you're doing OBS?
There's a way you can plug in the YouTube chat as like a little port in the OBS like view, but also I just look at the
Yeah,
YouTube. So I have OBS running in the background, and I just hope that it's
yeah.
doing what it's supposed to do, and then I just look at the YouTube studio where I see my comments.
Okay. And can people jump on and talk with you in OBS, or is it just one way?
Just one way. I'm not as
Ah,
sociable as you, okay? I'm not gonna have some random people just popping in.
well, I am old white guy. I can do that. Like you are not. Like
That's fair.
they, I'm like, hi, I'm Ron. Come on, visit me. They're like, okay, I gotta go.
You know,
No.
I could be a man behind this, okay? I could have a voice changer on. People don't know.
Oh, dude, that would be so much fun. You could catfish, I think it's called. You could be. Oh, you should be like a 300-pound biker. I
I
think
should.
that would be awesome. Hey, how's the artwork? You got any that you can show?
I don't. I haven't really been doing anything on the digital. It's usually just I've been keeping it on pen and paper type thing. But no,
Yeah.
I haven't been doing much. I've been moping
Okay.
and working and moping some more, but we're back on it now.
Okay. Nice. Is the moping because of the test, or just
That and just I don't know.
okay? Do
I don't know what I'm
do you
doing
need?
in life. I guess that's the kind of the main thing. It's like, what am I doing? Like, am I gonna go do this? Am I gonna go do that? And
Uh-huh.
basically, it's the indecision is like the mental anguish, right? Because if you just
Mhm.
pick a way and you go, then it just works.
Yeah. Right. Well, I just because I've seen life happen, I think once you get the test out of the way and you get that, um, once you get the test out of the way, I think things will pick up steam.
I think so
That's
too. It's definitely the sort of thing where just one thing at a time. And I hate studying is the thing. I just dislike it a lot. But I have to do that before I can do all the other things I want to do.
yeah, right. Yeah, that's exactly it. Well, so, and I hope it's not rude, but I mean, I'll ask the question. You can say pass or good or bad. How's God? Like, That's just because that's my thing.
Well, that's
And-
fair. That's fair. I think whenever I talked to you and Mark, that was quite a while ago, and I was like,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to run away for a little bit. Well, surely enough, I found, when you run away from God, you find the devil. He was conveniently labeled, which I appreciated, and I'm like, dang, this kind of sucks. So,
Was it bad, or just obvious, or
just
both?
obvious, and I guess
Oh.
kind of both. And I guess I feel like I got tripped up in ways that I didn't expect, which is always surprising for me because I'm just so smart. I don't expect anyone to be able to get the better of me, obviously.
Dude, listen, me first. Let me tell you how much I have it together. I know I have it to. Yeah, dude. Right. We're all hosed. The moment we think we got this thing figured out, we're up a creek. So
Yeah.
Because I want to be vague, and it's almost like when you talk about the law, you don't have to talk about the case with names and anything that identifies. You just go for the overall constitutionality of a case. So when you saw it, was it a temptation? I mean, I'm guessing it'd always have to be a temptation. How would you have categorized it? And how did you win? Like, this is actually a cool hero's journey moment.
Well, it sure doesn't feel like it, but
well, no. If I may, to avoid going off a cliff is a good job.
Well, I guess the thing that was like, it was very conveniently labeled, okay? And when people have tattoos, pay attention to them, okay? But, so, I don't know, it was more, I think, basically, I'm very prideful, and I know that that's my worst, I guess, fault. And so this individual is very much like me, and like a fun, and like, we get along very well type thing.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's just, basically, are you going to do the thing that you're not supposed to do, or are you not going to do it? And then basically, the pride is also what, keeps me from doing the bad things, because if, you go ahead and go do the thing, then you're, pardon me for saying, a piece of shit, right? So to avoid being a piece of shit, you just don't do the thing. And so I hate hypocrites, because hypocrites are just liars with extra steps. So simply don't be a hypocrite.
Well, that actually, and I'm wondering, was it conviction then? And that led you, like, it's the goodness of God that leads anyone to repentance, and maybe even a chastening. Like, if you get convicted, that doesn't mean you're bad. It just means you're getting corrected, which actually means you're his kid. And when you obey that, that's like, actually you get attaboy, you get good, you get the nod. Like, okay, does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but like, my experience, it was more like I fell down and scraped my knee, and I was crying about it. And then I just went back, and I was like, Mom, can you please kiss it better, please?
Okay.
And so that's kind of where I am now, with the scraped knee and everything.
All right, then. Okay, but now, because you are talking to me, but wait, there's a bonus round, and it's a positive thing. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, because what I've seen in life, when you get tempted in an area, it's either, and it can be, that's already where you received some sort of advancement. You've gained some ground in, or you got something cool. Or you're about to receive within that area. Does that?
That's very hopeful, but I would also categorize it as speculation, and so I'm just gonna leave that up to God, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's a good attitude. So it's either you're okay and you're protecting the okay, which is okay. You're maybe going to make an advancement in the area in which you were tempted, which, you got a good attitude, which might be okay. That's good attitude, and If you get it, cool. If you don't, you're not bummed out. And then maybe I might be overanalyzing this, which I have a tendency to do. You're just protecting what you already have, which that ain't bad. It's peace and quiet's not that. Peace and quiet is underrated.
I would
Once
agree
you've
with that.
been, okay, yeah. So when did you when did the test all occur?
The test was back in July.
Oh
Yeah, in
wow.
July, and
Okay.
then I got the results in I think around October.
Right.
So
Okay.
I've had a month to stew on it a little bit,
Right. What was the area in which
Wait,
you
what are you?
wanted
Oh,
to?
wait, are we talking about like my my school test, or are we talking about this other test?
Oh, the other test. Yeah. Well, the school test first, and then the other test. So the school test was
Mm,
how long?
in October.
Okay.
Or wait, no,
And the
sorry,
other.
I got the results in October.
Oh, okay. Okay. And you're going to be taking it in January.
Yep.
And the other test was a month ago.
Well, I would say it was ongoing, but
Okay.
anyway, yeah, I mean, it's just
When
it's
did you?
those interpersonal dramas, It's
Dude, you listen. Okay, so here's the deal. You showed me you showed me your scar. I'll tell you mine, and I'll be careful because that's it's just wise to be that way. I had a disappointment occur myself, a big one, came out of left field, and um, I mean it was a painful moment in my life, and it just happened a little while ago, and I had to use, man, because I'm very, I think when you get disappointed in your heart, in the core being of your heart, it can, you have a choice to get angry, bitter, or shut down and let the world influence you, or you double down in the peace and presence of God, whatever it may be for you, and know that's enough and live there to get through it. And if I do that, like a cork that's been taken to the bottom underwater, eventually it'll pop up. And to not do it would have let anger into my life, into my heart, uh, judging other people maybe harshly for what they've done, even if they've deserved it, maybe for a moment, but not being merciful from my heart is even worse. And that was close, but I didn't. And it also meant changing my life, uh, the social circles. And that says, I want to be careful how much I say. It's just when you have to change up people in your life, because some tattoos are carried in the soul and you can't see them until they manifest in word and action. And and when they do, you just have to, you got to deal with it. And in the past, I hadn't always been that good with it, but maybe skinned my knee a little bit, moped for a little bit, and got over it. And trying to maybe even restore the relationship. We'll see. Does that make sense?
It does. And I think it's very interesting because I feel like I have the opposite reactions to things. Because I think if someone does something and if I feel a certain way about it, that's on me, right? Because no one else can control how I feel and it's on me. So if someone else does something bad to me, or if like I do something and it hurts their feelings, I put the blame on the person that's having the feelings, I
Mm.
guess. And like
Mm-hmm.
similar,
Okay.
I when you talk about like having trouble like in it being kind of like an upset to leave people behind, I don't
Mm-hmm.
relate very well to that because I find it it's a relief to go and no one to know you anymore. And I mean, probably military family and everything. I love moving and just leaving it all behind. I'm like, excellent. Let's see what's new.
Oh, okay. It's interesting.
I have a really opposite way of seeing it, I guess.
I think I'll be honest with you, and this is just my opinion, okay? So I could be totally wrong. When you get with God, he's like, okay, you in the red hoodie, you're going to have to learn how to let go of people. And you with the artwork, I'm not letting you do that. Now, you know what I mean? I'm not saying for this person that this thing that just happened, but I think in general,
definitely. It's definitely a bad habit, I guess, because I have good friends and I've had them for a long time, but also I'm horrible about keeping up with them. And like sometimes, like when they text in the group chat, I'm like, why would you text? I never text back, you know?
You know, you're like that cat that doesn't want to be petted or picked up, and that's the one everyone at the party goes to and like, oh, look at the kitty, and you're like, meow. Am I? No, yeah.
I mean, I'm not a cat person, but that is an accurate representation, yes.
Okay, yeah. I have friends like that, and the cool thing is, I think there's a balance. I think, it's not an absolute, like in my past though, just my MO. When the ship was sinking in the relationship and it was bad and I would see it, and this is even after I was quote unquote saved and filled with the Spirit, and sometimes it's common sense in the Bible, and also your heart. When your heart is offended, when someone's doing something and it's just wrong, I would look past it, but not anymore. And I think it's up to, I think it's God's will, and I say that loosely as best I can, to bring order to those in chaos, and maybe flexibility that are in those that are rigid. But and it's, I don't know, that's not so deep, but I really do think it's his thing. Peter was the tough guy. He's like, Peter, put up your sword. Paul was uptight. He's like, oh, go talk to the Gentiles. Oh, it's funny, the guy who was in the tombs that was cutting himself, Legion, who lived by himself.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, here's the fun. This is the only time someone after the demons left him. He's sitting in his right mind, clothed in his right mind, and he said to Jesus, "Can I follow you?" And Jesus goes, "No. Go home and tell them the good things that God has done for you." And so it seems like the ones that are hyper isolated go back to a good family. The ones that love money too much are brought not into poverty, but not loving the things of this world to love the things of the Spirit. And then maybe the Pharisees that, so there's an internal spiritual balance that I think God brings to us. How's that?
I think I would agree with that.
Okay.
And I think whenever I was younger, it's kind of weird, but I feel like the big part of like my development as a person was actually going out and developing my vices, if that makes sense.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I guess I was a very sad and down individual, mostly up until like the later years of college, basically. And like I only got out of that funk because I was like, all right, well, there's an entire life to live out there. I'm gonna go live some of it. And so I just I don't know, I just went out and did things, and then through that I, developed a nice love for life, which I did not have previously. But then, like, through seeing where it could go, I guess, then I was like, all right, well, we don't need to hit rock bottom, okay, guys. We can just, flatten out, maintain, and then. But I feel like just going through that was an important part, because I don't know, just like, I guess developing as a person also includes developing the bad parts of yourself and learning how to deal with them.
You mean how to go to the bars and not get blackout drunk every night?
I guess that's a very ineloquent way of saying it, but yes, Ron.
Yeah, no, that's me. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about me. Just actually, I never got blackout drunk except maybe a few times. I got drunk a lot though. I got stupid. So it's learning how to not get stupid, and having that. I don't know. It reminds me of preacher kids when they never have any fun, and then they go to college, and then all hell breaks loose, and that's not cool. And then there's the flip side, where if you have no rules growing up as a child, and your parents are your buddies, and they're just, and I don't mean buddies in a good way, if they just let you do whatever you want, then your life becomes chaotic, and you wind up in prison on drugs, and I'm in prison. That might be, the only reason I'm saying that is because I've seen it. And so it sounds like you found maybe a balance, because when I've seen people like you, and I'm assuming I know you, what I mean, so just give me that, is you usually know when to say when, it's, or at least did you have to develop that?
I mean, I feel like I was always pretty. I thank God, I guess, that, like, when you kick a wall or something like that, obviously your toe's gonna hurt, right? Like when you drop something on your foot, it's gonna hurt. Whenever you do certain things, there are like logical outcomes to that, right? So if you go and you drink all this, and then you drink past what you know you can handle, then obviously you're gonna get sloppy drunk, is what they call it.
Right.
So I guess maybe I was always more hesitant than I was outgoing. And then, like, the outgoingness was what I developed, if that makes sense. So I'm always going to err on the side of caution. But then also, I guess that's only like in one realm of my life. I don't know, because I see things as like stacks and layers, right? And like different social situations. And like I have different roles and goals in certain situations. So like academically, like professionally, I know I have goals, I pursue them, right? But like it's the social aspect that are like the wishy-washy, like that's where the mistakes happen, because I don't know what I'm doing, I guess. Like I don't have a set goal. I don't know what the outcome should look like. And that's kind of where I have trouble, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. All right. And man, I feel so, you're going to be, so do you feel like God is helping you in that area? And is it rude for me to ask people or say that?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't think it's rude, but I don't know how other people feel about God either. I think God helps me in all aspects.
Okay.
And I that's kind of my thinking. I don't think I could do anything if God wasn't helping me do it, basically. I don't think I would be successful in any meaningful way if it wasn't from God, right?
Right. Okay. And the reason I ask is just recently, actually just this last close season, going back to that part of letting people go, I feel like this is one of the first times he said to do it. and I actually did it. Usually in the past, like I have had God talk to me, and I'm not talking about audibly in my ears. I'm talking about impressions and convictions within my spirit. I absolutely know He has told me to do something. I looked Him square in the eye, said, "No, it didn't go well," and then we learn. And just recently, the same situation, very similar to what happened a long time ago when I told Him no, except this time He said no, like just back away from Him. And this time, because I had common sense and experience as well as the Bible, and then the conviction of the Spirit, it was like holding back a wild horse, I'll be honest with you. Like I was pulling against the reins, but not in a rebellious way. I felt my heart wanting to call them up and reconcile and blah, blah, blah. And God was like, nope, don't do it. And He wasn't even mad. He's like, nope, don't do it. And I'm just like, okay. And I feel like I'm just as all theory. I know I metaphorically, last time this happened, this is a long time ago, I caught a bullet spiritually. I mean, this time I don't know what I avoided, but I know what I'm keeping. I know the peace and the presence of God that I am not sacrificing for friendship, which in my past would have been my MO. And if it had not been for God, I would be going down the same trail.
Good on you for listening this time.
You know what? It's like you run into well, thanks. I'll take that. I appreciate it. I think what it is, God is love. I will not ever say He isn't. But I realize now for some years, I have been fighting Him like a madman. Like as much as I say I know Him, I'll be honest, I've been fighting Him hard. And what I realize is, yes, sometimes will knock you off your donkey like Paul and change you in a moment, and you get transformed. And other times He will let you go through years of pain, not inflicted by Him, but because I was wrestling with Him. And it was, but I think if you can learn to hear God and quote unquote obey Him like you've been doing fast, you will avoid nothing. I want to say, I'll be careful and say I want to say you'll avoid so much pain, but we're not guaranteed to avoid pain, but we will avoid disappointment with Him, which I think is even more painful than anything. Which, you can be in a bad spot, a very bad spot, but when you have the presence of God, you're like, okay, I'm going to die anyhow. If I die with Him, like, well, that's not a bad day, because then I go into eternity, 7-year feast, who knows? Not that I want to die fast or, want anyone else to do it, but
no, it's kind of what comes to mind, I guess, whenever you were talking was, it almost seems like when you're talking like the peace of God and like not disappointing Him and everything, I don't know how to explain it, but like kind of like the wrong thing to do, right? It's not good, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't, it's a lie, right? It's just false.
Yeah.
And like the progress you think you're making, or the progress that you think there is, it's not actually there. And so you push on it and there's nothing underneath, right? But I feel like whenever, you're actually doing what you're supposed to doing, and like, God's like, oh, this is the right thing to do, right? You push on it and maybe there's not as much there as like, the lie, right? But there is something there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's true.
No,
if that makes
well, and here's the thing, what people don't understand, and maybe I'm understanding it more as well. People saved or unsaved, and I'm using that from a loose term, do feel the presence of God. They feel his love, and because they love one another, it's not that they're, but when you are with God, I think you're more sensitive to when you can interfere with that love and not sustain it for yourself or others. And to be honest, when you're not with God, I want to be very careful of this. When you're with God, you're not as selfish as when you're not with God. How does that sound?
That sounds about right, yeah.
So, and I think maybe and then just having that, I'll be honest, dude, like I used to see stuff that was like straight biblical, Old Testament, New Testament woo that was off the hook. And then I was a jerk and I short-circuited myself and things got really radio silent, or at least quiet, not silent. And it went from a full orchestra and angels and levitation and walking on water to just about very small but meaningful wisps of his presence. And it's not on his part that he's backing off. It's more on like if you hurt your hand and it's numb, it's not, oh, you sleep on it wrong. It's your hand's not functioning right. It's not the world's fault. It's the hand's fault. The receptivity of it. And so spiritually, I'm kind of saying the same way. When I would mess up, I would numb myself and not numb myself. It was it would be the interference that I would be putting between my heart and his presence. And so even the smallest wisps would be so significant that I would value them like a hungry man having a small morsel instead of a glutton in front of a buffet. And once you learn how to steward the small experiences with God, it gets easier. And then you get better at it and it grows. And I think maybe that's that might be pruning that he talks about in the Bible. Like when he really loves you, oh, dude, it's going to hit the fan. You're going to get corrected. But
kudos to you, Ron, for being so open to it all. Okay, like all the dreams and all the woo and everything, but I'm still of the mind, I'm scared of the dreams, I'm scared of God. I would love to just be at arm's distance, but that doesn't seem sustainable because, as I said, whenever you run away from God, you find the devil instead, and that sucks even worse. So it's just kind of like an in-between spot where I don't really like going to sleep and having dreams, Ron.
Okay, now with that, if I may, I do understand, and you're in control. And I'm gonna talk Pentecostal generalities here in the Bible. But I'm not talking directly at you, but kind of, sort of. I hope it helps. And so the spirit of prophecy is governed by the spirit of the prophet. And what I mean by that is, if anyone has a spiritual gift, it doesn't rule them. You're allowed to say, hi, this is Cici. I'm not home right now, but if you leave a message at the beep, when I wake up, we can talk. Until then, I'm going to bed. Good night. Because, okay, so there's that. So like, does that make sense? Because I got more, but I want to go one thing at a time. And I don't even know.
It does make sense. But then, I mean, I understand. It's very formulistic, you know? Like,
yeah.
But do you live like every day of your life be like, God, can you please wait another day?
Well, it depends. I want to be careful here. I'm not going to talk about you, but I'm going to talk about a girl that I heard about. That she was, and it goes to what you're saying. God, can you wait another day? There was a girl. She was getting dreams a lot, and they were overwhelming her. And she left Christianity because she was so not cool with them. She didn't have a lot of people to really help interpret what was going on. Like, to be honest, there's not a lot of people that talk this way and who I even trust, to be honest with you, about dealing with this. But with that out the way, is the dreams are to be in. Give me a second here, because I almost want to use her name, because she's someone famous. She's a singer, and she went to and became a Buddhist. And the Buddhist said, listen, if, I know this because I was a Buddhist for a long time. You're allowed to let thoughts come and go and see them passively, and not give rise to them or extinguish them unless they're really bad. That's Buddhism, not give rise or to extinguish them, and to see them like almost like in a disassociated, like someone watching a movie, so that you don't get caught up in the emotions. You're allowed to say, okay, this is what I will agree with. In the dreams, at least in life, if you're having a moment of empathy, you're allowed to say, okay, this is someone else's condition. This is not me. I don't have to take ownership of it. This is not who I am, and you can just go. And in a dream, though, you don't have that much agency, and I do understand that, because I have a lot of jacked up. Oh, dude, I understand bad dreams. Like, I just had one last night. But there's a certain point at which, for me, the reason I know I get bad dreams, and they're like demonic, they're not prophetic, is when I have unresolved issues in my life. Anger, unforgiveness, man, whatever you want to call it. But what I've learned, and this goes back to when God was talking to me about staying away from somebody, what I had not really done properly yet, and I was starting to do it last night. I feel it now. Forgiveness is not a feeling. It's an act of the will. Like, by faith, I forgive so-and-so for doing whatever. And Lord, in the same breath, I say, Father, forgive me for having this wrong feeling towards them, and help me to see them as you see them. Then usually for me, the dreams get better. Because I don't know what the prophetic nature of the dreams are, and I just use that word loosely, prophetic. But I will use it when they're God dreams. I don't know if he is talking to you and you haven't interpreted them right yet, or if it's the stresses of what happens, just recently, because these the things of the life definitely affect the soul. And then last but not least, if you're having sleep paralysis, and I'll just put up this one, I'll speak about my own stuff. When I've had demonic dreams, I'm like, oh man, this again. Usually I just flip the script on it. If it's, if I died in the dream, I'm like, okay, that means I'm going to live. If I did something bad, that means I'm going to do something good. If I was demeaned in the dream, that means in actuality I was esteemed by God. And then sometimes we get attacked, not because we've done anything wrong, but actually because we've done something good. Or are doing something good, and it's like a football where you get hit not because you're bad, but because you have the ball. My best example of this is Jesus when he was fasting. He was actually doing good, and then Satan tempted him, not because he was bad. It's just because at that moment he was actually stepping into something good. And so Satan had to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at him in order for him to take the bait. I don't know which one of these scenarios is you, but I'm guessing it's one of them. And the last but not least is, have you asked God? Which is my suggestion.
No, I haven't asked God because I really don't want him to answer.
Well, no, if I may, and I'm not pushing back. When I talk like this, like you get off this laptop, that's it. Like, I have no control over anybody. Don't want any control. But I want to be a good friend. And
yeah, I appreciate it.
He is cooler than anyone we've ever met. And he's not a bummer, and he's not a downer. And fear ain't him. And by the way, and this is where I will speak I will now speak as I forget how long I did at jail ministry with youth. A long time. I mean, long time. And I will now speak as an expert how God, treats his daughters much softer than he does his sons. He recognizes that his daughters have softer hearts and are to be treated tenderly with mercy. And I'm now speaking on behalf of God in that department overall. And my experience is a long time ago when I was talking to the kids in lockup. The kids were separated, the girls in the back and the guys in front, because they didn't want any flirting going on. And when I was talking to the guys, it was more like, I love you, and be man, you could do it, cut it out, and snap to. And then when I talked to the girls, I'd feel the heart of God shift immediately, like in such a gentle and soft way that it was easy to entreat them with kindness and gentleness and compassion that was totally different from the guys. He loved them both equally, but he treats them very much differently. And so I said that I went a long way around the mountain to say, do not be afraid of him. Don't be afraid of asking him. And you're actually allowed to say, like Mary, in the Bible when Gabriel said, hey, this is what's going to happen. She goes, how is this going to happen? Like, I don't understand. And they explained, you're allowed to ask God, can you please, I don't understand this. I'm not enjoying this experience. Can you please help me? He will not disappoint. And that one, I'm speaking from experience, and I guess I'm asking you to trust me on that one. Just because, dude, I was an idiot. Oh, dude, I was straight, hard-headed, stiff-necked, wouldn't listen to him, and he didn't mess, he didn't smoke me. And when you come to him with, it's not fear and trepidation, like bad, but when you come like, hey, Pop, can we talk? His answer's like, yeah, cool. Yeah, we got this. Like, and I'm joking, and I hope you understand that, like, dude, he's infinitely cooler than me. And you know what I mean? Like, God, I'll have to stand before him on that one, but I do know part of the reason I like him, yes, he's powerful. Yes, he brings the dead to life. And he likes us. That's the one thing that keeps me is his love. And if it isn't love, you're allowed to say, you ain't from God, and you can go take a hike. You are like, you're allowed to discern for yourself. If there are dreams coming at you, I want to be careful. I don't want to, like, if they're not God dreams, they're like Satan chatters. You're allowed to say, wait a second, you're full of crap. You ain't Jesus. You could shut your pie hole and go. For the people who have sleep paralysis, you're allowed to pray before you go to sleep and say, God, if this is not you, get it out of my life. And God, even if it is you, I would like some peace in this, my sleep. And if you are going to talk with me, okay, but can you please help me understand? If you give that a whirl, I would really be interested interesting to hear what happens. Because
I think everything you said is true. And nothing I have experienced would make me think that any of that is false. I guess my issue, and I know it is a me issue, is that I don't like having a nice tender heart. Okay, Ron, I hate it. I don't like feeling. I don't like caring about people. I don't I don't like crying. Okay, I don't like any of this.
You're the girl Grinch.
Basically.
Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. You're girl Grinch. Oh wow. But you make it look so good.
Thank you.
Girl. All right. Well,
yeah, I mean, I really don't like crying. I mean, and I feel like the closer I get to God, the more I cry, and I'm like, well, I have better things to be doing than crying all the time.
Oh, no, wait a second. What? No, you don't. I'm sorry, you're wrong. I tell you what, you could turn me off right now, but all kidding aside, you like this. Okay, so here's the deal. Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I got saved. And one of the group of the people that I got saved with, and when I mean saved, we met a God, was a biker enforcer named Gino. Now, Gino was the shape of a fire plug. And he was that guy with tattoos, very colorful ones. And when Gino, now me and Gino always got along. He was always kind to me. I really did like him, and he liked me. So, but he was feared by all, back in the day. And when he came to Christ, now Gino was adopted, had a rough coming up, and couldn't be kind. He had to just grow up and live life. When he met God, it was on a hot summer day, and he was just by a lake. And he took his bandana and he was soaking his head. Now he was already kind of talking with God. Now, water represents the spirit. And so I think as Juno was just soaking his head with this bandana, God took that as an opportunity to have a spiritual encounter with him. Baptism is what came to my mind when he was saying it, because as he was taking the bandana and soaking himself, now he's crying in the living room with me, Jennifer, and her kids, and it was a weeping like a child, but not a sorrowful one. It was like a happy, joyful weeping. He goes, and as I was putting the water on my head on this hot day, I felt this love, this presence into me. And he was crying softly, and he goes, it's the most romantic relationship anyone can have. And it floored me. Like when he said that, I was like, that was brilliant. That was perfect. And then to be honest, when I came to God, dude, I was a hot mess. I didn't like people. I was afraid of people. I couldn't talk. I didn't trust them. I didn't like me. I started crying a lot, but it wasn't, it was a healing crying. And it didn't last forever, but it had an effect that was healing, and it was joyful at the same time. So all things that are crying are not sorrowful. It actually, it can be very healing and redemptive. You know, the question is, what is it about having a tender heart that's unappealing or crying? And I have an idea, and I don't know if I even want to ask, but it's a good question.
For the crying part, at least, what does it do? It doesn't do anything. It's a waste of time. And
okay, I'm listening. We're gonna circle around back to that, ma'am.
The tender heart part, right? The tender heart part, obviously tender. It's a little stickier, right? So people stick to you, metaphorically, right? And I'm not a big a fan of that. Still, the leaving it all behind.
Right.
I have like a little. This is how I explained it to my friends too, because I always tell them, I'm like, okay, 3 to 4 years, that's how long we're going to be friends, and then after that, I'm probably leaving, and I'm not going to talk to you again. And then some people, they don't believe me is the thing, but it's kind of true. So right. I tell them, okay, like I have the jean jacket policy. Like if something happens and I just have to walk out of my apartment and never come back, it'll be okay. Okay, I have certain things that go in the jean jacket, and friends don't go in the jean jacket. People don't go in the jean jacket. Right. So, yeah, that's about like the tender heart part. It's harder to, you stick more to other people.
Okay, so, because like, I think I hold a lot back. Like I think I know people, and I think I have things figured out. And I think I keep my mouth shut because a lot of it's not my business. Out of respect for other people. But, because I'm processing something now. Like, all right, so you're cool with Christ, yeah? Okay.
Sure.
That's okay. And this is actually a good thing. He does not leave us alone. He doesn't leave us where he found us. That's not what he does. Dude, all right. Now, the only thing I regret about my past not keeping was my long hair. I had hair down to the middle of my back, and I had a beard. It was starting to get bushy. I couldn't hold a thought in a bucket. I had one eye going this way because of all the hallucinogenics. I'd burned myself out, and I was full of demons. And I didn't like people, and because I didn't like myself. And it was his love that first it was his spirit that talked to me. And then I said yes. His spirit's already talked to you, and you've said yes. And then he changed me. Sometimes it was punctual, like on a pivot point, and those were cool. And other times it was transformative, like something growing. And that wasn't bad either. But he won't leave us where he found us, not for our sake, but for his. And I might have that verbiage wrong, but one, we are in eternity now. We've already entered into it with him. And so he might come back and we're alive, and that's cool. Or we might pass away, but it's more of a out one room and into another immediately, but we're still alive forever. And he doesn't waste time, and he enjoys us. So he'll start now to transform us. It's gonna, first I said it wasn't for his sake or for our sake, but for his, but actually it is, I realized, for our sake, because as we become what we behold, and when you behold something good, you become something good. So you're beholding him in your heart, and you're becoming like him. And that means transformation. So the weak become strong. The strong learn compassion. And it's a transformation of mind and heart. So and it's nothing to be, I don't regret it. You have to leave some things behind, changing. Yeah, and I guess if I need to be corrected here, I hope I've been saying that, he does promise a tender heart and to love people. I don't know if I've been saying it correctly. I hope I have been.
I don't think you've blasphemed or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, well, Tayo just kind of, I don't know if I'm getting corrected here in the comments, but I do trust.
I think he's agreeing with you.
Okay.
I'm very Bible illiterate, but I do remember from, Sunday school, something about a heart of flesh instead of a heart of stone or something like that.
Oh, yeah. That's what flipped me out the most. Like with me, it was like a Dr. Frankenstein moment, or like a Grinch that stole Christmas moment. Dude, it freaked me out. Like it was like, that big electric switch in the Frankenstein movies, and you hear the lightning going on, and then you hear, the mad scientist going, "It's alive!" And I'm like, freaked me out. I done drugs, I done drugs, and I've been places, and this experience was real and beyond anything I ever did. And it was clean and pure, and the place that I was actually craving. And when I got there, I was like, oh man, this is it. This is the real deal. And I went from a heart to heart. A stony heart is just one that it's selfish. It doesn't know any better. It can't do any better. It's just, that's what we're born with. But with his spirit, we start to have compassion. We love God, and then we get to love others as ourselves and because we love God and he loves us, we get to love others better and longer. And so your 4-year season, and I'm saying this very gently and I'm not being dictatorial. I'm like, no, dude, that ship sailed. You know, and the not crying thing, no. Crying is healing. You know, you don't like it. Like, I don't like being strong. I ain't got
So,
no.
Ron, you are signing off on Mark S saying he was about to cry, but he refrained because of my mean comments about the act of, you know, oozing from your eyeballs.
Well, I think all I can say to Mark S is stop being a sissy. Suck it.
No,
I can't. No. He knows me. He knows me. I am just No, tears are actually, my opinion is people are at their strongest when they're crying. I have proof for this. Jesus wept and then he raised the dead. Okay? Like, dude, you mess with someone crying, best watch out. Something be about to go down. And it can be great too. Mark S. Seriously, I'll be all right. Listen, I'll be honest, Cici, and I covet your tears. I covet your encounter you're having. Cherish it. I rarely talk directly. You know what I mean? Like I rarely tell people what to do. I don't like it. But I will tell you, don't pass this up. It's a gift. A tender heart, a broken heart and contrite spirit are gifts from God. And they are it's the best because and it doesn't last forever. I'll say that. And you know what I mean? And I don't mean to be, I hope I'm not pushing you. You know what I mean? Like I want to be careful.
No, I mean, I understand. And in my own way, I've thought about it too, because the unfortunate thing about being able to like dissect every thought that I've had and be able to like link it back up to like the acts of the day or the acts of however many years ago, right? I can see where everything's connecting, right? But and so I can pick things apart to like the nth degree. But what I have unfortunately, or fortunately, in your view, kind of come to appreciate about the tender heart thing is like, you know, the memories that you have, right? You want to have somewhere nice for them to stay. And so that's what the tender heart's for, is for the memories of, you know, the people I love and all that good stuff. Because I don't want it to have to, you know, die on the rocks, basically, of my unfortunate, like, the churn, right? I just think about things all the time and I pick things apart. And it's just how I am.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that to every single memory.
Right.
And so the tender heart is it's like a little memory box. You just let things be there.
Well, you know, what's interesting is, and I'll speak from experience, having a tender heart helps you reprocess your past. It doesn't change it, but it gives you it gave me a different lens to look at people. So is, you know, if you're always thinking, you will be thinking through a lens of love, so that, like, he gave you a sharp mind, you know, that's cool. He he made you that way. But the cool thing about his love and having a tender heart and whatnot is that you'll still have a sharp mind. You'll still be able to process everything, but now you'll be able to see infinite beauty and experience it. And that ain't bad. That you will be able to, and that's part of it. And then that makes it easier. And then you then actually when you sit in the infinite, you're like, cool, like it. Looks pretty cool. Like, see infinitely back, infinite future, dig in the moment. And did that make any sense?
It does. I just don't know if I agree with you right away.
Oh, no,
So
that's
I'll think
okay.
about it. I'll think about it.
Oh, no, I appreciate that. Okay, cool. Because, well, and the one thing, like, boy, I say a lot of one things, but
You're gonna have to
you're in
stop saying, and the second thing.
and another thing. Oh, and he loves to laugh. Oh my gosh. He's a hoot. He is not to be trusted. He will crack you up. Oh, yeah. Another thing about him. Like the crying's good. It's healing and it's there for a season. But dude, he is not to be trusted. He will crack you up. Just when you think he's high and lifted, holy and all that, he will do something, or he will get you with a knock knock, or he will make no milk come out your nose. He's a funny guy. He's a jokester. Like kids liked him. And this is back in the day when kids were less than women. I'm just trying to paint a picture. Like kids were, they laid low back in the day, his day, and they came up to him and sat in his lap. And he liked them, and they liked him. So I'm just letting you know, you're going through a process, but there are other attributes of God that are whimsical. I say it and it sounds weird, but no, he's a goofball. He's a straight hardcore Gilligan's Island. Yeah, one of the deepest moments I had spiritually I ever had in my life. It was like a Saturday afternoon. I'm laying in bed, being an absolute bum. I haven't been it's like late in the afternoon. I haven't been out of bed. I got the remote in my hand, and I'm just cruising cable. And Gilligan's Island or something came on, and I'm watching this, and he shows up, and I'm like, I ain't being holy. I'm not even out of bed. And I'm like, the Ave Maria's playing in my heart. And I'm like, just a grand old time. I'm like, really? Now? With this? And he's like, hey, dude, what's up? What you doing? What you watching? Want to hang out? And I'm like, all right, cool. He's not uptight. He's not uptight. And, and if you got a good sense of humor, he's going to get you. So have you ever heard, has anyone ever told you that?
That he has a sense of humor. Yes, other people have said it, and I would agree as well, because sometimes I think life's going one way, and then it goes this other way, and it turns out it's not bad. It's just not what I could have comprehended. But I can see, like, it's almost like a pun or like a joke, like a play on words type thing. And I'm like, oh, you think you're funny, don't you? And yeah. And then so I get done being mad that I got, and then I think it's funny too.
Okay. All right. That's cool, because it's the goodness of God that got me. It wasn't anything else. So, like the whole crying thing, I'm like, I would ask you to enjoy it, or just try to not enjoy it, but just to lean into it. The dreams, and I'm using the word cautiously, if they're demonic, I'm like, you're allowed to pray and say all dreams, you're allowed to, you get out my face. And also the Psalms are good to pray or ponder. But really, I am a simple guy. I'm just like, Lord, in the name of Jesus, take these dreams if they're not yours, and if they are, help me understand. And then I start speaking to stuff. I'm like, hey, I don't know who you are, but I don't like you. So in the name of Jesus, shut up and get out. It might not be in those exact words, but you are allowed to speak to your own condition and to your own life, and to declare good things for yourself. And anything that doesn't align with that, you are allowed to tell them to go. and then to also pray the things that you do want over yourself and for others.
But this isn't a whole other can of worms, and I'm about ready to get off here because it's getting a little late this way.
Yeah.
But also the praying thing. Why pray?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
God's going to do what God wants. Why pray, right? Because God's going to do what God's going to do. And so why ask? I guess maybe not why pray, right? Because it's good. It's good for the soul. It like focuses you. It does all the good stuff. Right? Why pray for specific things like, Lord, please help me with X, Y, or Z, or please help, someone close to me with X, Y, or Z, because it's all in God's plan. He's going to do what He's going to do. So then,
why bother? Okay, I think that's called Calvinism, which is Paul Vanderklay. And I'm not a great theologian. Okay, so I'll ask you to research this more later, but I'll give you my best stab at it.
This is a very big discussion. It doesn't need to be addressed today, but it's just like something that I think about. And I've talked to other people that I've. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, please go. I'm listening.
No, I've talked to other people about this, right? Like technically she's my godmother, but basically she's my grandma, right? And I asked her that, right? And she compared it to, why do I ask my actual dad for things, right? And well, I don't. I try not to because I don't want my parents to like get me things because they've already given me so much. First off, I don't, like very fun fact. I got an early Christmas present because my dad met me down when I visited my brother and everything, and he got me a teapot. It's a very excellent teapot. Okay, it's so spherical. It's the Fiesta Ware teapot. If you guys want to Google it, okay, it's like the deep blue one. I'm so excited about it.
Okay, cool.
But so I didn't ask him for that, but he got it for me anyway, and I didn't want him to get it. I really appreciate it, but I would never ask for it, and so why ask?
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to play your game. I like this. I mean this. I really do. I am enjoying this, and it's not a game. All right, then don't pray. But I would ask you to understand a few things.
I think these rules are slightly unfair, Ron, because I do my little Lord's Prayer every night, and I'm not going to not do it because then the demons get me.
Oh no. Okay, no. Okay, no. I'm sorry. I don't want you to stop praying, ever. I'm just playing a game here. Okay, so good. You're doing your Lord's Prayer. That's great, and I do want you to pray. But what I was gonna say is, I would rather someone know that they're loved by God, forgiven, redeemed, restored, beloved, cherished. I don't know if I already said the word esteemed. It is once you know you're loved and accepted and restored to original value in the eyes of God, then you're not praying to ask. You're just having a conversation with a friend or a beloved one, more so a beloved one. And then out of the abundance of that love, you're right, He does provide. So, and I was just joking because I really didn't, I was joking about not praying because praying, it's really like if I had some artwork to do and I couldn't do it, I'm like, Cici, could you help me? That's praying. Like it's not that it's from what I understand, prayer. It's not just a wish list at a McDonald's, like I'll have a number 7 and supersize it. It's more like, hey, it's like this conversation. It's like I'm working things out with friends. That's what prayer is to me. And maybe that's what I would want to express to you. It's not, I need this, that, and the other. It's more like, what do you think about this? What's your opinion on this? And maybe like, hey, I got a problem. You know, I got this personal thing and I don't know what to do about it. That to me is prayer, or a good part of it. I think the Lord's Prayer is outstanding, and whatever else you're doing is pretty cool. But
Right.
it is.
I see what you're saying. I kind of guess I see where I'm having the issues, if that makes sense, because when you kind of frame it like that, like the more like the conversation, basically it's the conversation, but then whenever the conversation part of it tries to like talk back, you're like, no, like, shh, please. I can't bear the thought of hearing you talk.
Well, I got news for you, girl. You've already heard him talk. Now I get to be me. Okay, gloves off the leash. You already put your foot in it. One, you already heard him, because if you didn't hear him already, we wouldn't be talking. And not only did you hear him, you said yes. And it wasn't that difficult, you know? All kidding aside, his voice is love. And it doesn't sound like Charlton Heston coming from the burning bush. Not that doesn't happen, but you've already been talking with him and you've already been cool with him. And if you like what you got, if you've liked some of the stuff you've got before, it's just that it just gets deeper and richer. It's like when we were kids, you're like, what did you say? What does that mean? We already have the capacity for the language of God. It's just learning the language skill. It's letting him develop our language skills with him. And prayer is a joyful, loving interaction where we get to have a conversation with our friend, with our best friend, who won't leave you in 4 years. And you can't leave him. Yes, I will. In your face.
All right. That's enough for me.
Okay.
Well, I hope you have a good rest of your night and that you have fun being snowed in.
Oh, I will. You too. And be safe. And thanks for hopping on. This has been outstanding. This has been fun. Yep.
It was good talking to you. And thank you for all your advice. I appreciate it. I'll chew on it.
It's been fun. Hey, I tell you what, as much as you chew on it, pray for me to keep doing what he wants me to do. You cool with that?
I will right after the Lord's Prayer.
Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate that quite a bit. Right after, man, I feel like I get the sub headline after the major headline on the marquee. I can go with that. That's pretty cool.
All right, I'm going to hop off.
All right, good night.
Bye, Ron. Bye, everybody in the chat.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's show if someone doesn't jump on. Tile, gots to keep the demons away. Now that she's not around, Lord, in the name of Jesus. No, I'm messing with you. No, that was awesome. I enjoyed that one a lot. So, Tayo. So that was fun. Neal. Well, Mark Parker he made a guest appearance for a quick second, but he was driving, so I don't know if he's got those electric cars, but he might not have been able to come on. So, guys, that was fun. That was, I don't know what the word is, therapeutic, cathartic, whatever, just fun. That was it. Well, so how you guys doing? That was fun. Let's see, let me, Mark S. He's off grid. Oh, wait, add to stage. Sweet!
Yo,
Dude.
how are you, Ron?
Pretty good. That was a blast. That was
I
one
got
of
to
the better
start it
conversations.
from the yeah, I got to start it from the very headset. One moment, please.
All right.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. That's
Is that
awesome.
better? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to start it from the beginning, but yeah, I just made it back home. So I'm gonna shut off my camera while I talk.
Okay.
But what
Sure.
I want to do is my wife, my daughter, her brother, her father, her uncle, they're all at the Tulane football game right now,
Oh,
and they don't know I made it back. Actually, they probably do, but I want to set up like all of our interior Christmas decorations by the time they get back.
oh,
So that's
wow.
kind of that's going to be my stealth Holy
Okay.
Spirit mission while we talk.
Okay.
If you want to talk a little bit. If
Yeah.
not, if you want
Listen,
to shut it down, that's fine.
well, I tell you what, I got a little bit of time. Like it's 8 o'clock my time, and I've been getting up 4:35 just
Oh
because.
man.
Oh yeah, it's like because I get up for work and my body's like, I don't care if it's the weekend. We have to get up, but I can hang out for a little while. I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna try to add myself into the live stream on another phone so I can walk around my house. We'll see if that works. So there,
Allow myself to add myself.
exactly. You know what? I should probably not do this because the moment I start pushing buttons, it'll go black. You know what I mean? I'll nuke it.
Whatever you do, do not press the red button.
You know what? That's exactly what I would be doing. It's but I've noticed on StreamYard because when you came on, it gave me a notification, but I didn't see anyone, and I didn't see you in the back room. But that's okay. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna push the button. I'm gonna do something better. Okay, wait a second. Live bagpipes. Do. This might get me. Let me see how many minutes this is. Oh yeah, well, maybe almost. I need to find there. No, maybe. Let me see. I got to find us some bagpipe music.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That's exactly it, buddy. Boy, if I had bagpipes back in the day when I was in the college, I would have turned them into a bong. I know it. That's just the education I had.
That's just the way it is.
That's just the way it. Come on, people, give me some. In Ireland. So, what's the? There's a foosball game going on right now. The foosball.
It's the Tulane. I think it might be their bowl game actually. I didn't check. But Tulane is the main college in New Orleans for football. They normally have a pretty good football team. Although Louisiana is much more all about LSU, but LSU had a poor season to say the least. They fired their head coach. A lot of drama there.
All right. I got no sympathy at Ball State. Oh wait, Mark Parker is on the house. Here we go. Sorry.
We're doing a late night House of Woo.
Just for a minute. It sounds like you and Cici had a great time.
It was fun.
Can you?
It was enjoyable.
Am I coming through all right?
Yeah, you're coming through.
All right, cool.
Would you guys mind praying for my mother real quick? I won't go into specifics, but health-wise, she's not doing great, and
of course,
I suspect. I don't know if it'll be soon or 10 years from now, but yeah. I would just like us to pray if it's okay.
Okay, Lord, in the name of Jesus, for Neal's mom, God, we thank you for your goodness, for your mercy and your grace. Lord, that by the whipping you received, we declare healing for Neal's mom. Length of days, life, and joy in your presence. And Lord, we pray peace for Neal and his family, and your presence and your joy in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll keep remembering her too, Neal.
Yeah, she had about 4 years ago now, she had a stroke, and the problem was it was overnight, and so didn't really discover it until the following morning, and by then the damage had been done. And like mentally she's okay, but physically she hasn't really walked or done anything after that point. So
yeah.
But it's okay. You could talk about other things. I just appreciate the prayer.
No, of course. That's important.
Hey,
how old is
I'll
she?
Be right back.
How old is she, Neal?
80.
80. Okay.
80. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not young.
Yeah, it's a hard time. My mom is 80. Will turn 84 in December. Just not too long, a couple weeks.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, my mother
is
had
your dad
kids,
still with you?
Yeah, no, he's he's with her, and financially they're doing okay. So he's got help in the home, comes twice a day to kind of help change my mother and bathe her and feed her and cook and do laundry and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And I visit whenever I can. And yeah, but it's a tough situation, definitely. But he's doing all right. Like he's got friends where he is, and there's a few people to visit my mother, and he's doing okay.
Yeah. When was the last time you saw your mom?
Today.
Today. I know. I meant before this recent visit. I guess was.
Probably about 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, long intervals of months at a time at this age can feel huge because you really notice the changes and their decline.
I don't think like she's that much on the decline, but she's not eating that much, so she's like mentally and she's about the same, but yeah, I just don't know, I just don't know.
Right.
That's it. So she's on the forefront of my mind, and just leaving the situation, it gives you a sense of like just how powerless we are in the face of God's mercy. Call it that.
Yeah, no question. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. Yeah, my wife has family in that same area in Houston, and so I did the first 2/3 of my day with my parents and did very simple things, and then in the evening I went over to my wife's side of the family place, and we have kind of a larger family, classical Thanksgiving dinner, and I brought home a lot of leftovers to my parents, and so it worked out. Yeah, we sort
How
of
does your wife's family celebrate Thanksgiving? Do you
they
eat
they got they
traditional Vietnamese fare?
no, it's American all the way. They got some chefs that really uh blow the lid off of like my family. They are very simple chefs, very simple cooks, and hers are something, especially when you combine like uh New Orleans like Cajun spice, and it's oh man,
Okay.
they're really good. But they know my my parents can't handle a lot of spice, so
Oh,
they
that's
made some
funny.
things that we could take to them, and
Yeah,
they
I'm
would
guessing
not
they
be
can handle the spice no problem, right?
yeah, exactly.
That's funny. Well, Southern Thanksgiving is somewhat different than Yankee Thanksgiving.
I don't think
I've
so.
heard.
My sense is like it's pretty much a national holiday in the same way, except like down here we do a lot of like put a turkey in a vat of oil, basically. What in a
Deep
giant,
fry.
yeah, deep
Well,
fried turkey, exactly.
I heard though that there were some issues. Like there was like the sweet potato pie in the South was a kind of
Hmm.
rejection of pumpkin pie. They called the Yankees pumpkin eaters because the New Englanders they had the
We
pumpkin. Did you
we
do
totally
pumpkin or
have
do you sweet
pumpkins
potato?
down.
But because you're New Jersey
No,
though, so you're bland.
we t no, but I've been here 10 years. I consider myself now uh New Orleans or Louisianan, and yeah, no, we did pumpkin pie over sweet potato. So yeah, and
Pumpkin
pecan pie.
pecan.
Yeah, yes, we can.
Uh-oh.
Can.
Yeah, we lost Mark. Uh, Mark, hey,
I'm
now that
yeah.
he'll be back, can I jump in? I want to do something for Tyo. He asked for prayer
Do
for
it.
his mom. Uh, Lord, in the name of Jesus, for Tyo's mom, Lord, that we pray for this chest pain to stop. Lord, that Lord, whether it's by medicine or a miracle, I don't care. You pain leave. Lord, that the right medication and doctors minister to Tayo's mom. And Lord, that I'm just searching. Lord, that by your stripes, she's absolutely fine. That she's healed and that completely made well by you, Father. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
In the name of the
So,
Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.
Spirit, amen. Like I'm doing it
Amen.
for you. I don't, what do you call that when you cross yourself? What's
The
the
sign of the
proper name?
cross. Yeah,
Is there a,
it's called the sign. No, it's just called the sign of the cross.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Or you
didn't,
could sing it. You could say, in the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Spirit, Lord, you're one. We gather together to lift up your name.
oh, pitiful. It's just, awesome. Awesome. It's, so I have a theological question for you.
Sure.
Is, and I say this only because it's late night and I don't care. Is being a Trinitarian a big thing for most people?
No, not really.
Really? Oh,
Um,
okay.
I mean, yes and no. It's not something that I think most Christians really think about a lot. Um,
Right.
but we know that. Let me give kind of the lay Christian perspective, like the way I think most Christians, typical Christians think of it, is that and this is actually a heresy, what I'm going to say, but like it's close enough. So it's like God manifests himself in several ways, many ways. You know, he manifests himself in creation. He created before all things, he created all things. And that's God the Father. And God sent his only beloved Son down to earth, Jesus Christ, who died for us so that we might have eternal life through him. But Jesus promises his spirit is going to be with us till the end of the age, even though Jesus ascends into heaven. And that's the Holy Spirit, and that the Holy Spirit is always with us. So, I mean, I think that's how Christians think of it. I mean, you could pray to Jesus, you could pray to the Holy Spirit, you know, but I think most Christians obviously center around the person of Jesus because we know the most about him because of his life. You know, he's the most human to us. He connects the most to us.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, I didn't know. I talked with a Protestant buddy quite a while ago, and he made a comment like, "Yeah, you know, there's the Trinity, and anyone who says otherwise is, you know, a heretic." And I'm like, "Oh wait, you know," and that flipped me out. Afril, Afril, if you're going to be live streaming pretty soon, I need to bounce because I've had a great time today. I'm enjoying this. I'm just, you know me, I go to bed pretty much when the sun goes down.
Afril gonna be like, "Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn, kid." Actually, I'm gonna put my camera back on. Here we go. No, actually, I like to watch Afril die. Afril pilots, and
so that he could be resurrected to eternal life.
Yeah. You know, it's not even that good. It's just you get multiple lives in your games, and I cheer the bad guys to when he dies.
Multiple lives are better than multiple wives. That's what Afril always says.
Oh, Mark Parker.
That's one of his taglines.
Oh my gosh, multiple. You know what? Could have kept Muhammad out of trouble, but he didn't have video games.
Oh, them's his fighting words.
I know. Hey, who is this lady? Secular Corral. She's got such an awesome accent. She's
Mrs. Claire Caw.
What's that?
Claire Caw. That's her name.
Oh, Claire Caw. She sounds so elegant and proper, and I wouldn't want to take her on in a theological street fight. I think I could lose badly, but I don't agree. Let me see something. Somebody just texted me. I might have to go. I got someone who might be in, who needs to talk.
Yeah.
I just got a text from a church friend asking if I was busy or asleep. So that usually means something's going on and someone's going to call me. And
who are you going to call? Ron Tuckman. When you got something good and you need advice. When you need some prayers.
I'm going to put a sock over my camera right now. That's it. I don't want to talk. Oh, by the way, your worldly news, I absolutely love it. And I got to talk with David a little bit on Jacob. Man, he's hilarious.
Yeah. David is a remarkable and truly unique human being. Yeah. I love him. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, for sure. Like he opened my eyes to the story of Samson. Like he was talking about, he said like, if you want some kink, it's in the Bible. And I'm like, what did you just say? And he goes, Samson. I'm like, what? did you just say? And he goes, yeah, the guy liked to get tied up. And I'm like, what did you just say? He's like, it's in the Bible. She tied him up. He liked it. And I'm like, oh.
Well, I'll be a donkey's jawbone.
That's exactly it. And it was, I liked it just because the way he said it, he's like, listen, I'm not making this up. It's it's in the text. I'm like, wow, you're
Biblical.
Right. Yeah. So basically Samson was a whore dog and he had sex issues and that's why he got killed.
Yeah.
Not sexy, but like he couldn't hang out with the good Jewish girls, so he got smoked. Pitiful.
And he tore down their temple. Let my people go. Tore down the temple.
Yes, but just the way he said it, it really did open my eyes up to that. And I like, he is somewhat brilliant too, so that was fun. And so, Afril, jump on here or say something. What time are you going to start streaming, dude? I got to do stream prep for Q and Q. What does that mean? What's the shorthand for that?
Q and Q. QQ more is usually like complain more. I don't know what Q and Q is. Usually it's Q and A.
Well, it's Q.
And answers.
Well, it was Q_Q. As best I can see by gonna do Q and Q.
Usually prep. A sign of eyes.
All right.
That's kind of like eyes, like making eyes.
Right. That's cool. Well, so how's it? So you're decorating right now as we speak?
I am setting up. I am in the early stages of setting up my wonderful synthetic Christmas tree. Actually, I'll turn on my camera just for a moment.
All right.
That is the early stages of my synthetic Christmas tree, aged 10 years, like a fine wine. See. Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
There we go.
Working on it.
Let me see what I'm doing here. I'm pushing buttons, Neal. It's dangerous.
Pushing up my buttons, babe.
There we go. I don't need my face on here, so I'm going to cover that up. It's the no face live stream. Save me some data.
You need to save face.
Saving face. Yeah. So did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yes. Yeah, it was delicious and nutritious. We got to see some extended family on my wife's side. And I got to get into some nice weird arguments over the age that we're living in. That's fun.
Oh, no. Okay.
The fourth turning and other strange sayings. And it was a good time.
The fourth turning. That caught my ear. Do I dare ask what it is?
I had to look it up. It's a political theory that history comes in waves of like 80 to 100 years, and the last one was the Great Depression, and there are four waves, and the fourth wave is like basically a time of disaster.
Right.
And then after the disaster, there's a new cycle. It starts with one. And then, so
okay.
I don't really buy into it. It's like a nice, convenient way of basically stating, and also the time frames don't really match up. Like, because if you go 100 years, you could say, okay, the Civil War to World War II, that was less than 100 years. Or the Civil War to the Great Depression, that was less than 100 years. Or the Civil War to World War I, that was less than 100 years. But wait, Civil War was only American, so you got to go a French Revolution, the French Revolution or World War One. That's more than 100 years. American Revolution, World War One. That's more. I mean, it just doesn't line up.
Right.
So, I do think we are in a very strange time. But yeah, I think anyone who says they know the future by knowing history.
All right, I got something for you, and I think I might have already told you
Okay.
this. And since it's late night, we're breaking out the top shelf woo for you.
Go for it, my friend.
I've had a vision. I've had a vision in my life, and I've seen myself. This vision came when I was like 5.5, and everything, including my salvation, I kind of saw. It's like a roadmap. It's so.
Wait, you saw this when you were 5.5, and you were raised Jewish.
Yeah,
right?
I know. It's confusing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, because and so I saw myself as an old. Now, I saw myself as an old man when I was 83, and I was actually in a state park that I now live by. I saw the woods when I was little. I was walking through these particular woods that I now walk in. That I'm 63. So basically,
you sure it was those woods?
Yeah, I am.
Oh man.
And also like,
crazy.
yeah, the girl that brought me to faith, Jennifer, who I'm still friends with.
Yeah.
I saw her and her 4 kids when I was.
Wow.
Yeah. And the only reason that happened is because it helped me through a lot of my life, which was very confusing. So,
did you see all of us? Like all of us weirdos in this TLC space? Did you see us?
Dude,
not a bit.
I would have not a 1, 0.
So that means we're demonic? Is that what you're saying, Ron? What you're saying is.
Listen up, Daedalus. When you're on a map, on a road map, and you're going from Cleveland to Chicago, it gives you the roads. It doesn't give you every McDonald's and Chad's
and Happy Meal.
Yeah. It gives you the road. Okay. Now on the way, you get to see the signs around you if you're observant, and then you can go, oh, look there's the biggest ball of yarn in the world. We should go check that out. And that's where this is. That's what this is. This is TLC is the biggest ball of yarn, and I'm happy to take a picture by it. But so I said all that to say, anybody who says the world is going to end, I want to bet them. I'm like, I bet you, I'll bet you 2 to 1 it doesn't.
Yeah.
I want to.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ron. I don't think that's happening at all.
No,
I think we are in a major shift, but
it's confusing.
I think,
I accidentally came across this podcast, a theological one, and it was, and I'm not trying to bash them, but they were very intellectual and very woke in their interpretation of scripture. And there was this one girl railing on about how things have been cut and how programs have stopped because they're not funded. And she goes, we need to study this Bible because we need to know how to properly interpret it, because the conservative Christians that say they are being set upon, and they're not, are interpreting it in a way that will allow people like the Amalekites or whoever they're, people to be slaughtered. So we have to be careful how they interpret the Bible, because otherwise we'll get slaughtered. So,
I'm kind of with her, honestly. I feel like the left has relinquished Christianity completely, and in my opinion, the left has a very strong case for Christianity, probably even stronger than the right.
Dude! Oh, wait. Yeah. And can you please? I don't understand what you're saying at all, but I like it because I'm surprised. Please,
Okay, so Yeah. So like Jesus was extremely uh how do I say this? He was extremely left leaning without sacrificing the vertical. And the left leaningness of our culture over the last I mean, I would say it's probably 100 years, to be honest, and it's just accelerated over the last 20. But the problem is the left leaningness of our culture said like, okay, we understand the horizontal. We can we can bring equality and equal opportunity and egalitarianism and love. We can bring all that stuff to everybody. We don't need you, Jesus, anymore. Jesus was this inconvenient stepping stone in our history to immanentizing the love eschaton. All you need is love, love. We got music, we got drugs, open sex, rock and roll. That was the '60s. We're going to bring it to, everyone handicapped. We're going to bring it to all races, all the gender spectrum. We're gonna bring it to everybody. And they forgot about Dre. That's what happened. And when I say Dre, I mean Jesus. It's like the major sin of the left was saying we're going to do all these wonderful things, but we don't need the vertical, and we don't need to subordinate ourselves to any like divine principle because we figured this out for ourselves through logic and reason or whatever the fuck. And but the problem is like that's actually wrong. The horizontal can never be permanently prioritized over the vertical. It starts with prayer. It starts with the vertical. It starts with you can only expand the horizontal insofar as the tent reaches to heaven. If the tent gets sufficiently up towards heaven, you could slowly but steadily expand the horizontal, but you can't get too high because that's the Tower of Babel. So what I'm saying, the other thing is that Jesus is radically left because he breaks the molds of bringing the good news to the Gentiles. It's not an ethnic thing. It's not a racial thing. It's not a country thing. It's not about overthrowing the Romans. It's not about establishing the perfect Jewish kingdom. It's not about only a certain people. It's about proclaiming the good news to the poor that you are loved and children of God, and that God wants you to realize your full potential here on earth and love his children, regardless of their race or creed or religious background. And that is an extremely powerful Christian message. And the left has completely, like, basically said we don't need it. And now, it's so, man, it's a rookie mistake over the last 100 years that the left has made, and you just hate to see it. And yeah, anyway, that's my frustration.
What do you mean by a rookie mistake?
It's a rookie mistake because there's a reason that pride is the highest sin. Like the reason pride is the highest sin is because the first mistake is always assuming that you're smarter and know better than you actually do. And that's been the sin of the left for the last 100 years. It's not that the left hasn't done good things. They have. It's just they presume the sin of the left is presuming to know that, like, for example, let's set up NAFTA and let's set up free trade to lift up the poor in every single nation. It's like, that's probably a good thing. What are the side effects towards China? What are the side effects towards nationalism within the United States? All of these things. Like the presumption of no negative externalities and the presumption that we know best in the long march of progress ahead. Sorry, this is a rant, but like
no.
The left took pride and made it their centerpiece. Now they have pride parades. Like they said, we're going to take the worst thing of Christianity and we are going to redeem it. And it's like, yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Right. So wait. So the worst thing, we actually.
The worst thing is what I'm saying is pride is the worst thing. Yeah. Pride is the original sin. It's the sin of Satan, and the original sin is something like I know better than God. That's the original sin.
Right. Okay. And so, because that's it. Well, the way I was getting it from this lady is, it's to me, and I have to be fair, I overheard her a little bit. They wanted to reinterpret the Bible and it just felt like it wasn't going to be in. It wasn't by anybody of faith, as far as I could tell. Like they had intellect, but as far as having the faith,
Yes, yes. Because again, it's the same sin. It's the sin of, oh, we can use this ring. We can use it for good. We can take the Bible and use it for our own purposes now. So, oh, good
yeah.
luck. Good luck with that.
That's what actually. That's kind of, and that's what I was feeling towards her. But it's interesting looking at the book now, from now on, as the ring, the Bible as the ring.
Yes.
That's it. That might help me out quite a bit. And even for myself to know how I'm acting. Just,
it's a map to God, but it ain't God. That's
right.
The
It's a thing.
So
it's not Father, Son, and Holy Bible.
I've heard that before, but I don't know where that's from. But yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean, to be honest, in my world, I can kind of. It's funny, but in my world, I see that as idolatry sometimes, and then I in the Protestant Pentecostal world, I'm like, what? Maybe a magisterium wouldn't be so bad. And the Orthodox have the saints and everything. The writings of the past that they seem to really esteem highly, and I'm like, I wonder if there'll be.
The Catholic Church makes the same sin in regard to the magisterium. The magisterium ain't God either.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a tradition. It's an inherited tradition. It is important. Don't get me wrong. It's the same thing. It's a map. It's a map to holiness. It's a map to God. It's a guide for how to be the way Jesus wants us to be. But it ain't God itself. So
yeah. I don't know. Maybe I see value in all three streams now: Orthodox, Catholic, and Protestant. So we'll see what. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, when you look at how things have developed, I can't help but see the hand of God in all of that. Like it's beautiful. You got all these different, and it occurred to me. I think this was something actually Claire Caw mentioned. It's like why I forget who said it, but it's like why wouldn't Jesus leave us like a perfect template of all the rules and all how to live one's life? And the problem is if Jesus did that, you don't have a story afterwards. You don't have you don't like what's the purpose of human creativity and passion and ingenuity if Jesus does all the work for us, and figuring it out. And so the main thing is like to not be prideful about it. The main thing is like it's not that Jesus doesn't want us to struggle towards our ultimate purpose on this earth. He does want us to ultimate, but like the thing is that like our sureness of our path on this earth can never take precedence over our belief in his grace and his love, and that ultimately he's in control, but he wants us to be you know active participants in the struggle and in the journey. Like that's the whole point of life.
Yeah, I'm realizing that. I think for me, just recently, and I've been fighting him, I think, for a long time on this. It's the pain and the suffering that I fought a lot. It's funny, but with Cici, it's the first time I ever really. Well, I'll be careful and saying the first time, but I really leaned into presenting the gospel like, you will suffer, there will be pain.
Yeah.
You will.
And that's a more honest gospel. Honestly, but it's like there will be, but it's the best story you can imagine, and it's better. It's better than you can imagine, even as you're suffering through it. Yeah.
Well, and it's redeemed. It's not suffering. Not. Yeah, that's the difference. Like, I guess what I'm saying is, you're gonna be in pain one way or another. It's just that with this way, it will be with Jesus, and it will be redeemed, and that's the difference.
Yeah, I mean that I've been teaching Mary actually the last couple of like that basically last month in
Mhm.
October, because October is a Marian month and teaching these high
Uh-huh.
school kids. And one point that's like maybe the most important point about Mary that I try to make to them is like she was not naive. And
Hmm.
like when that angel shows up and says like, "Hey,
Mhm.
you're gonna bear a child of God," and or sorry, you're gonna bear the child, yeah. And Mary
Mhm.
says, "How can this be? Because I'm still a virgin, I haven't been married yet." And so
Right.
Mary knows that to conceive a child out of wedlock at that time, at that place, is basically a death sentence. To conceive a child out of wedlock at that time and place meant that she would be ostracized, isolated, alone. In effect,
Yeah.
she'd be a prostitute, and
Yeah.
she knows that she's signing her life away, and she's doing it anyway. Like that's how much she trusts God. Um,
Mm.
and then further still, after Jesus is born, like a week. So imagine a new mother that's like just given birth, and the new mother has like no idea what she's doing. Right? She's
Right.
scared. She doesn't. And so 7 days after the new mother has given birth, they have to present Jesus in the temple. And then
Yeah.
this priest gives them a prophecy that like, and he says to Mary, and a sword will pierce your heart also,
Yeah.
so that the thoughts out of many hearts may be revealed. And it's
Yeah.
like, so she knows immediately that this is going to be really rough. But like,
Mm.
but she also knows in the second half of that, the whole purpose is so that the thoughts out of many hearts may be revealed. And it's
Mm.
something like that the truest, earnest desires of people within their hearts are for God can be made manifest in the world. It's
Mm.
something like that, is that people can be brought to the Lord. And so
Mm.
Mary knows that she's not doing it for nothing. Like she's,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, that passage actually always intrigued me, like confused me a little bit and mystified me in a cool way. And a sword shall pass through your own soul or heart, so that
the thoughts out of
I,
many hearts may be revealed.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude, man, I think
yeah,
talking to you now helps me maybe understand a little bit better, but that one intrigues me a lot, heavy. Um, but I
whenever
mean,
I, yeah, whenever I read the heart and biblical speak, I
mhm,
always think of it as, and I'm sure there are other interpretations, but the way I read it is like the heart is the most real. So the heart of Ron Copperman is like the
mhm,
center of what it means to be Ron Copperman.
yeah,
It's like the most Ron Copperman-y Ron
yeah,
Copperman. Like
right,
whatever the stuff of you that's like not gonna burn away, the stuff of you that's
mhm,
like that's the stuff that it really defines who you are, like the very center
yeah,
of you.
right.
And yeah,
I think, yeah, that's that. Okay, that's it. Yeah, it's that to me is for Mary. Like I've been on a road it's been interesting, and she's she's coming up in the ranks pretty high. Um, it's very curious, in that line especially. Uh, if anyone on earth can be your spiritual teacher, guide, a human being, she'd be it. I think
yeah.
maybe even better than Paul. It would be a split decision, and I'll I'll tell you
Well,
why.
well, no, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
No, you go. Go ahead. Go.
Well, I
I'll
was
keep.
just gonna say, it's not like Paul showing up at various places around the world. So, they're
No.
Marian appearances. Like it's Mary showing up. So I don't think you're wrong in that.
uh, well, it's yeah, right. Okay. No. Yeah. Well, there's that. Yeah. I mean, you've got her.
And like there are my first inclination as like a skeptic and someone who finds these things very dubious is that like these Marian apparitions over the last 500 years, regular Neil brain would be like, yeah, okay, some people made up a story, even though it was convenient, yada yada yada. And then you look into this stuff, and you're like, what the heck? Like the more I look into these things, the more it's like, yeah, that's probably real.
Yeah, it's almost like UFOs. Like even if you don't believe in them, there's enough. Just like I don't know, do you call that empirical evidence to say something's going on here? Like you just have enough data points.
I mean, it really comes down to how much you believe people who have every reason to deny what they saw. Like denying what they saw would be better for them, for their community, for and yeah, like all these situations where it's like basically multiple children that are that would have to be lying for like no reason, and it puts them and their community in harm's way, and but there's more to it than that. Like there's like it's more than it's like how many people need to attest to something for someone to believe it,
Right.
That's always the question.
So it gets me. So with that out the way, because I'm like I got bigger fish to fry. With her in particular, if she who shall not be named is who I met, I now appreciate beauty more. And matrimony and in relationships with women properly. And in the top 10 on the top 10 list, and number one with a bullet is when I think of her, I encounter him, which is incredibly confusing, but joyful.
No, that's not confusing at all. Okay, all right. I'm gonna give you real. This is like the number one thing that blew my mind about Mary. Okay. You know the one story about Jesus when he's a child, like the one story we have from the time that he's an infant to the time that he's an adult. It's like when remember he's like 12 years old. I think it's Luke chapter 2. I could be wrong about that, but okay. So it says like every year they went up to Jerusalem for the Passover, and then they start journeying home again after the Passover, and it says after 3 days of searching for him, they found him. Okay, so that's the first thing is after 3 days he was gone. Okay, after 3 days of searching for him, they found him in the temple, and it says they found him in the temple, and he was listening to the scribes and the priests, and everyone was. It said that they were amazed at the things that he was saying and the connect, like the insights he was having and all that. And okay, so here's the thing that blew my mind about that. So back then, Second Temple period, when a Jewish boy turned 12 years old, that was the age at which a boy could voluntarily choose his profession. He could say, "This is the vocation. Like this is the path that I'm taking with my life." And so like Jesus was actually within his rights as a 12-year-old to say like, "This is me becoming a member of the priests." So in effect, what Jesus is doing there is he's saying like, "This is my path. I'm choosing this." Okay. Now, here's what's so interesting is his mom says to him, "Son, your father and I have been very anxious looking for you. Where have you been?" And he's like, "Mom, didn't you know I would be in my father's house?" But then the next thing that he says is so interesting. The next line is so interesting. The next line is, "And he went down with them and was obedient to them." And it's like, so basically what Mary is saying there when Jesus is 12 is like, what she's really saying is she's saying, "Son, I've only had you for 12 years. Like you are too young to start your ministry. You are too young for me to lose you. I'm serious." That's what she's saying.
I love it.
And that's why she's anxious.
She's like a
No,
Jewish mom.
she's just like, yeah, she's like, okay. So, and Jesus is obedient to the request of his mother.
Okay.
So he is, okay. Now, how does Jesus's ministry start? What is the miracle that starts his ministry?
Right. Okay. The wine. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So they're wedding at Cana and his mother is there. His mother comes to him and his mother's like, they have no wine.
Right.
And then Jesus is like, woman, what has this to do with me? Like, but no. But like, which is a really hilarious thing. But the woman thing is like a generic. It's like, mom. Yeah. No, but the next part of that's really funny because the next part of that is like, or not really funny, but it's key is that because he says my hour has not yet come. And so like by saying that last piece, basically he's saying to his mom, like, mom, this isn't trivial. What you're asking, it's not trivial. Like, because basically he's saying like, if like you're starting my hour, if you start this, and then his mother says, do whatever he asks of you. So in effect, his mother pauses his mission at 12, and his mother gives him permission and the blessing to go forth and begin his mission at Cana. That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So she is the impetus, the starting point, and then she's the one that gets the whole party started. And that's what the wedding story is all about. It's like you might like the way I taught it to the kids is I said like you might think like when the Son of God comes into the world as his first miracle to demonstrate the full extent of his power with one snap of his fingers, he instantly incinerates the entire Roman army and Israel is free, right? Like as this massive display of his power. And instead, his first miracle is his mom's friend who is embarrassed that they ran out of wine. He takes the six jugs, which is how many days it took to create the world, and then he turns water into wine, which is like the baptism into his blood, which is it's the alpha and it's this tiny miracle in this trivial like podunk town, and it's like the whole story in this tiny miracle. It's like you got the whole beginning in the six jugs. You got the water and the wine, which is the baptism into the crucifixion, and like the guy who says like most serve the best wine first, but like you save the best till last, and that's like, oh man, it's like the perfect little miracle, man, because it has everything.
I like that. Actually, you gave me some food for thought on that one, like just insights, and for her too, like the takeaway for me. I mean, there's a lot of takeaways here. The pausing and then the kickoff. You know, both.
Yeah.
She was in. That's pretty cool. Just her in general. It's no longer room for pause. It's more like, okay, we've seen this, we've experienced it. Now we just need to process it properly.
Yeah.
And we will just the interaction between him and her. That's pretty cool. It's I think for most, not all Protestant branches in the body, they're not cool with talking about her as an interactive being. And to be honest with you, if I hadn't had in my own experience, it would be hard for me to understand. But there's a difference. I don't have a theory anymore. I have an experience, and that's what makes the difference. But
and
what I do like.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go ahead. Well,
I was just gonna say I'm kind of envious of you because I haven't had that direct experience of Mary. I haven't had it, but I have this intuition that I will before the end of my life. But I have not. I have not
I'll
myself.
tell you what, let me help you out on this one. The only reason And I will say I'll be very careful about. She never said her name, but that's kind of cheating too. But aside from that, I was spiritually in a very bad spot. I thought, and I was having demonic stuff touch my heart, and I couldn't shake it. And I didn't get this encounter because I deserved it. I feel like it happened because it was like I needed to go to the hospital, kind of a moment. I needed to be healed. So that was the motivation for it. But if you have Jesus and you have his presence and you have his love and all that, and I'm not putting her down, to be honest, she'd be like, dude, you're fine. Like if you really
that's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. It's like when like because her whole purpose is leading me to the sun, and I've already been led. I've already been led to the sun.
Yeah.
And so I'm not so worried about
Yeah. I think though there are certain, you're allowed though, if you have that impression that you will have an encounter with her, I think there are times when God's like, yeah, okay. You want to talk to my mom? Yeah, fine, And she'll be like, hey, did you see what my boy did? Or you want to talk? Yeah, but whatever it is for you, I think
God's time.
Yeah, but also what I realize now, all interactions, divine interactions, always lead to him.
Yeah.
And, so you have an encounter with her, it just helps you know and love him better. I'm like, all right, that's cool.
Yep, exactly.
That works. Well, this has been outstanding fun. Let me see, before we go, how's the tree?
Oh, it's getting there. Well, I've been hanging, what is it called? The greenery, more fake greenery, which I have to vacuum up every time I hang it. But the tree, no. My daughter likes, she likes putting stuff on the tree. But let me.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there.
Is that the tinsel? Is that what you
call the
it?
Stuff on the, I don't know, the fake holly or, I don't know.
Right. It's
tinsel. It's getting there.
All right. Well, let's do a closing shot with the tree. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Christmas tree.
It's not decorated yet, but it will.
But it will be. Greatness in the making. All right.
Amen.
Pete, this has been fun, dude. Good times.
It's been awesome, Rob. Thank you.
All right. See ya. Good night.
Bye-bye.